just drinks gas when you just get on the throttle. It's a 900cc. I think, I'm not really sure what the gas mileage is on this. It should be pretty good. It should be in like the 40s. Hey, look, there's a little cat. Hey, little cat. All right, it's a Neko-chan. All right, so yeah, that's how the ride works. Yeah, I like B mode. It's the smoothest. Standard is okay. Standard for most riding, standard is fine. And aggressive is like when A mode is just, you know, whenever you feel like going fast, I suppose. This bike has mucho torque, lots of torque.
Man, this thing has got boatloads of torque, boatloads.
And it doesn't have trouble climbing up well, I mean, I guess if you kind of lug it in the higher gear going up the hill, it might have a little trouble, but
Oh yeah, man, this thing's got plenty of power to go up this thing. I know I parked here last year.
it has lots of torque, and it feels like you don't even need the 6th gear. Sometimes I even forget I have another gear.
Yeah, it almost feels like you don't need the 6th gear on this bike. I mean, at least for 100 kilometers, man. It's 100 kilometers, that's like 55 or something. Yeah, you definitely don't need to go 6th gear for the freeway here. Yeah, you really don't need the 6th gear here. I think I'll tell you now, man. You don't really need it, because we're going so slow.
And because of the speed limits are so low here. So yeah, it's definitely it's got loads and loads of power, and I think it's just too much power. That's what I'm gonna say. It's more power than I think I really need. But so let me get into handling. So it looks like so this has upside down forks. Supposedly they fixed the problems with the MT-09's soft suspension, and it does feel pretty beefy. It has to, because the bike is heavy. It's a heavy bike. It has adjustable preload on the front, and this looks like it has adjustable preload in the back, but it doesn't look like you can get to it real easy. No, I don't really know how you get. Oh, yeah, right here. You can get a wrench and adjust it. It's not very easily adjustable. Yeah, so that's the suspension. The suspension is okay. It's very plush, but you know it has good dampening and everything. It's a good ride. Like over the bumps and stuff, I don't even notice them. It just feels like it just soaks everything up.
It's really bumpy. Oh, dude. So I noticed most of the time the suspension on the Tracer, the Yamaha Q, it's nice and, you know, it's uncompliant, you know, it's soft and cuddly. And then, you know what I noticed? This bike is more stable on this rough stuff, this bumpy stuff, than the MT-07, because maybe it's got bigger tires, I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I noticed. That this, I remember the MT-07, it would wander more on the rain grooves and stuff, but whereas this one doesn't seem to like it wanders very much, you know. Or maybe it is, and I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. It could be that, or maybe I was going faster in the MT-07.
So ride quality is very good on this bike. Like I said, it feels really wide when you're riding it, and it feels really heavy too. And it's got a long wheelbase. It doesn't want to turn very easily on the tight stuff, is what I noticed. I took it on some of those Yugawara and Tsubaki line near Mazda Hakone Turnpike, and I just wasn't digging it, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, the FJ's handling, it's a handful to get around those tight corners, you know. Make no mistake. It is a big bike. It is heavy. You know, once it gets moving, it's not too bad. But yeah, you really start to notice it when you get to the lower speeds. You know, I mean, it'll do just fine in traffic. Just you know, just the really tight stuff, like maneuvering the bike, pushing the bike around. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, this bike, it understeers a lot, you know? It's heavy, it wants to push. Donut time here. Yeah, I mean, on the uphill, it feels like the front is so light, you know, and in the downhill, it feels like it still kind of wants to push. The handling is not very good on this bike. It feels so big, so big. I really don't feel like leaning it over a lot, you know. It's not quite as nimble as the MT-07. Yeah, it's just like, feels like it's a handful. Woo! You really gotta finesse it. Yeah, I'm just not feeling this bike, man. It's a handful. Yeah, you really gotta ride on your tippy toes on this thing. It's a pretty aggressive riding position, man. Your feet are swept back a lot. They don't want you to go fast on this thing. Look at some bumpers. It's like a 360-degree turn. Yeah, you really gotta wrestle this bike, man. You gotta be very graceful with it. You have to be able to ride it gracefully. Ah, nice! Alright, I'm starting to kind of get a feel for it. You really have to kick it over, you know, to get it to go. It doesn't feel very willing to turn, unlike the MT-07. But that's because the wheelbase is bigger on this. It's a more stable bike, you know. Want to do wheelies all the time, you know. I'm trying to drag a knee a little bit. And it works if you kind of hang your knee out, so. Yeah, you really have to get up off of the seat, you know. Get the bike to kick over in the turns. Understeer. Woo! Yeah, I like it, man. Yeah, it's just it's a big bike, you know, you really gotta work to get it to turn. But the B mode is great, it's so smooth out of the turns. And if you want power, you just twist it, you know. Oh, man, I got some good lean on that one. It was cambered. Oh, I like it! Woo! Yes! You gotta be really careful with the throttle, but yeah, B mode is excellent, man. I love B mode, man. It's so smooth, the power delivery. Woo-hoo! Man, I like it. It's fun.
I just felt like riding it slow, but however, on the faster stuff like Ashinoko Skyline, like something that has kind of like more sweeping wide turns and wide stuff, this bike will carve it up.
Oh yeah, but you know what? It's really fun to ride this bike on this pass. It's not super windy, you know. It's kind of gentle sloping turns. It's just twisty enough where this thing will gobble it right up. Alright, here we go. HadesOmega testing out the A mode on Fuji Skyline Road. We are on Mount Fuji right now, and you know what? I have to say, this is a lot better than the northern road going up to the fifth stage. Downshift, I'm gonna counterweight it. Woo! Nice! Sugoi, right? Now you see where the power, you know, the power of this 900 comes in handy, right? Climbing this stuff. Definitely the A mode kicks ass on this stuff.
Easily, this thing is a beast in that kind of condition. So yeah, the tighter stuff, I don't really like riding very slow stuff with this. I think the MT-07 is better because it's a much smaller bike. But yeah, of course it's not a sport tour. So touring, Yeah, so I mean, I prefer the handling of the MT-07. It's such a heavy bike, and it feels like you have to really wrestle it to get it to do what you want it to do. You know, you got to really put your weight into it, and you have to like kind of you have to plan your attack on the turns very well, and be careful with that throttle because it's got a lot of power. Let's see. So speaking of sport touring, so right now it's got the racks and everything installed on it. I think it's stock. It does come with the rack. That's nice. But this has a top case, give you top case and side panniers. Last year I didn't get the side panniers, and I'm glad I got them this year. It's so convenient. You can put stuff. You can put stuff in it. Yeah, so this isn't really part of the bike review, but I'm just gonna go over it real quick. So yeah, it comes open like that. It's a little floppy, flimsy. You can take them out too easily. It's got all my like toiletries and sleeping wear and clothes and stuff. That one has my riding stuff in it. So it's nice you can divide stuff up. And I just keep my backpack in here, or helmet. I'm gonna lock it. Sometimes this is one thing that doesn't like to lock properly. Tug. Oh, see? So you gotta tug on it to make sure it's closed. So, it's like I said, the plastic is flimsy on this. It's not very. I have Pelican cases on my KLR, and they're much more rigid than this. I'm pretty sure once you go down, this thing just I don't know, it'll deform or something. So the top case, I used the same top case last year. This year, it's for some reason this little latch sometimes gets stuck down, and it's hard to get back out. But I like the locking bed system on this. It's pretty good. It's a nice top case. It's got a lot of space. I don't like this little thingy up here. Oh, you know what it is? I know what this is. So there's a little thing here, and I think I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how to open this, but there's a little thing holding this up, and there's a hinge here. So I imagine this goes down, and you could put your like registration and stuff in there. That's what it is. But it gets in the way of my helmet. My peak hits it. It's kind of annoying. And yeah, you can put a ton of stuff in here. It's awesome. So I really like the Givi stuff, but it's super expensive. That's why I don't have any Givi stuff on my bike at all. So there it is. It's my review of the MT-09 Tracer. I might add onto it later, but great sounding exhaust. It's not super nimble bike. In fact, I think I had better time riding the Super Tenere. I wish they had a Super Tenere I could try. But this is a great long distance tour. This'll chew up the miles like no problem, and it's so comfy. Oh, windscreen. Okay, let me talk about the windscreen real quick and the lights. The windscreen is I think this is a stock one. It's not a very good windscreen, at least for me. Oh yeah, I didn't go over my height. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and the bike fits me. It fits me pretty good. It looks like it's too low, but I think you can raise the seat. Yeah, at my height level, when the wind goes over it, it takes the wind blast off your chest, but I get buffeting on my helmet, so it's not. It makes it a noisy ride. I don't like it. So I would need a taller windscreen, I think, or a shorter one, whichever makes the air clean. So the stock one is not good.
Yeah. So I get a lot of wind noise on this windscreen. It's not a very good windscreen, at least for my height. It's not. Even with the lowered seat, I still get a lot of wind noise, buffeting, kind of stuff.
Hand guards work great. They're keep your knuckles from getting cold. I wish the spoilers were bigger. I wonder if they sell a bigger spoiler kit. Probably keep the bugs off your knuckles too, I bet. So the lights are very good on this bike. It's like a 2 light setup. One is a high beam and one is a low beam, and it's very bright. And the light is very light.
I never really noticed it, but oh, well, this has LED lights. I think it has LED lights. It looks like it. The running lights are. Oh no. You know what? There's a running light. It's a LED. Check it out. Start up. Yeah. So it has a LED running light. That's cool. I never noticed that. And this is the low beam, and this is the high beam. Digging this. The lights are pretty nice on the. They're actually really nice on the Tracer. Really bright. How the high beams are. Okay. You can. It's weird. Like one of them is offset.
Very bright. I mean, it's a white light. There's a lot of kids going to school right now. All right. Yeah. So there you go. MT-09 Tracer. HadesOmega's review on it. I think it's a great bike. I get a thumbs up. I don't think I would want to own one of these. I would wait till FJ-07 or the MT-07 Tracer comes out and see how that is. I think that'll be the ticket. It'll probably be lighter than this bike. I think this bike is a little heavy for like the tight stuff, but I mean you can do everything with it. It's just a little bit of a pig, and but it's good at like long distance riding and carving up like not so super tight twisties. So there you go. There's HadesOmega's review. It's got gobs and gobs of power, lots of torque, different ride modes. It's got a lot of power, and you won't get bored of the power. Trust me, there's plenty of power.
Right here. When I can see all the way through, I'm gonna take it. Okay. Dude, the passing power of the Yamaha. Power. Just let go of the throttle.
The handlebars are kind of wide. The bike feels wide overall. I don't really like splitting lanes with it, at least in Japan. In America, fine. It would be fine.
Let's talk about the brakes. The brakes are pretty good on this. They're adequate. Okay, they're almost. I'll even say they're more than adequate. But it's nothing to write home about. Just like the MT-07, I thought the brakes were good, but they weren't like awesome, you know, but they're definitely adequate. I will say more than adequate. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. The brakes are good. They get the job done. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh dear! Woo boy! I was going a little fast there. I scared the shit out of those deer. Good thing the Tracer has some good stoppers. Oh yeah, you know what? I never talked about the brakes on it. I will talk about the brakes later. The brakes are adequate on this bike. Let's talk about the other side of the handlebar, the clutch. The clutch, not so happy with the clutch. I don't know if it's this bike, but this seems like there's something wrong with the clutch. But anyway, I mean, it makes noises and stuff, and sometimes the wheel spins when it's in neutral. Like when I got it on the center stand. I don't like it. It has like a really narrow friction zone. It's hard to work with. It's very snatchy. So I'm always worried about stalling it. You know, it's gonna stall and it's gonna stop and I'm gonna drop it or some shit. You know, that's what I'm worried about. Man, there's some big trucks in front of us. So yeah, don't like the clutch. At least on this bike. I'm not sure about other. How many miles does this bike have? Oops. This has 17,000 on the odometer, so it has quite a bit of miles. I'd say, I don't know, maybe that's like 15 or 12K on per miles.
Also the seat. I want to talk about the seat real quick. The seat is really grippy, so I feel like I want to glue my ass onto the seat all the time. And the seat is ultra comfortable on this. I have no complaints with the seat at all. It's a great seat. It's really comfy. I wouldn't replace it. Yeah, I really like the seat.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I like the seat. I like the seat a lot. And I think you can adjust the height. I'm not sure. I will go ask Jonathan when I get back to JBR how you adjust the seat height, because I think I would prefer the seat height a little bit taller. To tell you the truth. I feel my knees feel a little cramped on it, but you know, I can heel flip this thing, so it is definitely, you know, if you're a small person or, you know, vertically challenged, I think this will be a good bike for you if you can muscle it around. If you're used to riding big bike, yeah, this will be a good bike for you if you aren't very tall. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds.
It's got a helmet lock here. This key thing here removes this part of the seat. But yeah, the seat is great. I love it. It's really comfortable. I wish I could make it higher. I don't know how to do it. I'm pretty sure there is a way to make it higher. As you can see, there's a gap there. Big gas tank, good range. I don't really know what the range is in the American standards. I'll look up some stats and put them right now. And then it's got a center stand, side stand. It's got all the goodies. It's chain drive. Oh, but yeah, going back to the my ass is glued to the seat thing. Yeah, so the seat is really grippy, and like if I want to kind of like move into like kind of lean into a turn or something, it makes it hard because my ass wants to grip onto the seat. I just want to stay in the seat all the time.
So I have to remember to kind of get off the seat. The seat is like, it's so grippy, you know, it makes me want to sit all the time.
I wish it was a little bit slipperier. Now maybe you can put a seat cover on it that makes it not as slippery. I think maybe like a sheepskin or something that'll make it super plush, man. But yeah, I don't like that the seat is too grippy, because like during aggressive riding, when I want to put my weight into the bike, it makes it hard to do that. All right, so there it is. HadesOmega out.
I'll talk about riding the bike a little bit. So the throttle is very light on the FJ, and you don't really have to twist it a lot. I've noticed, like, I've been riding bikes with, you know, and my bikes don't have a whole lot of power, so I kind of have to twist the throttle quite a lot. And Mount Fuji. And then this one is a very light throttle. I like it, man. It doesn't hurt my wrists at all, you know. I have my throttle lock cruiser thing on it, but I still I don't think I really need it, you know. And I have this cruise control dealie here. That's one thing I do wish this bike had cruise control. It does not have cruise control, and I wish it did. I mean, I think it has the button thingies for it, because that's what this is right here. But I did some research, and the Tracer does not come with.
I just wanted to point out that the FJ-09 or the MT-09 Tracer is a pretty sexy looking bike. I dig the looks. I like it. Honestly, what it kind of reminds me of is Suzuki V-Strom. Kind of like you know, the headlights look V-Strom-ish, like, and then but kind of like the accents, you know, the little grills and stuff. It kind of reminds you of the, you know, the MT-07 or the what's that, like the Super Tenere. It looks like this kind of reminds you of Super Tenere. So if like the Super Tenere and the V-Strom had like a kind of distant cousin, this would probably be the bike. So I'm gonna do a little quick walk around for you. I'm kind of close to the road here, so I'm getting a good one on the back.